What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another 6-side reaction. My name is Shay, and today we'll be reacting to Central C versus Digga D, the violent backstory. Now, this is something that I have been very curious about for a very long time, especially with my strong opinions on Central C earlier in my listening career, as you guys can call it, my reacting career, as short as it's been. I've been very quick to criticize Central C in the past, and believe it or not, as some times passed, I've started to grow on me, and you know, I've been more accepting towards his newer music. I feel like it's a lot more, it suits him a lot more than some of his other songs, and especially like that song Khabib that he dropped. I think that was an absolutely beautiful song, absolutely super impactful, great lyrics, great bars, and I think Central C honestly is the biggest artist in the UK right now. Easily, there's nobody doing it bigger than him at the moment. And Digga D is just somebody that I was listening to quite a bit a couple years back when he got out of prison, and he dropped. This was before he dropped Away the first time around, and then obviously after that as well. And in that time when he wasn't dropping any music, I just started listening to a lot of old 1011 tracks, and I got super into Digga D and just CGM 1011 in general. And then he came out, dropped War, and got even bigger. So it's just, this has been like a little bit of a rivalry that I've always been interested in, because I never really understood the full context behind it. I knew they knew each other because of school or something, but I'm not too sure exactly where everything stemmed from. I heard some things about some managers and some brothers and all that. So yeah, you know what? We're gonna see if Kid Nerd explains all that. Kid Nerd makes some amazing videos, super informative videos. So before you guys watch this, please go and watch the original video on his channel. Run it up, comment, say 6 Sides sent you. And yeah, shout out Kid Nerd, man. You've educated me quite a bit on the UK drill scene from being on the other side of the world. You know, this Kid Nerd's really put me on a lot of stuff, I cannot lie. So big up Kid Nerd. Go check it out, link in the description. Central C versus Digga D. Let's get straight to it. Violent backstory, let's get it.
Numbers. It's clear to see when we look at the UK drill scene and its numbers. It's clear to see who's at the top of the game right now. With Central C hitting #1 in the charts with his new mixtape 2-3, and Digga D securing features like Moneybagg Yo, no one else in the UK scene is really doing what they're doing right now, which becomes even more interesting because these two have a long history and not a good one. What's up, guys? It's your boy Kid Nerd back with another video. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment below what you think. Let's get into it.
Make sure you guys go like and subscribe on Kid Nerd's video, and while you guys are at it, subscribe down below as well. Come on, it's a pretty cool intro.
So today, we're taking this story to West London, which is probably the weirdest part of London for so many reasons. So on one side here, we have Digga D, who's from Ladbroke Grove, which is located in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea. One of the richest and poshest...
If you guys aren't from the UK and you guys want to look at something interesting, go on the UK drill Reddit and have a look at the drill map. I think it's one of the coolest things that's ever made. Shout out to whoever's made it and whoever maintains it and updates it or whatever the hell, but I think it's really cool, especially for someone like me not really understanding certain areas and the map of London in general. You know, like, I've been to London, but I haven't stayed in London long enough to really fully grasp where everything is. So it's really cool for me to see and visualize and somewhat get an image of where I'm hearing the rappers I'm listening to, where exactly they're from and where their ops are from and all that. It's just cool to see because it shows everything. So go check that out. It's on the UK Drill Reddit.
Boroughs in the whole of the UK, but the borough also has the second highest crime rate in London. Famous Ladbroke rapper AJ Tracy explains how it is living in the area in one of his interviews.
Have is an area where we're living in estates and flats in which that sometimes we don't even have enough to pay the electricity bill, and right across the road there's a family where the youngest daughter, who's 9 years old, has a Rolex on.
Central C was also born in Ladbroke Grove, but is a couple years older than...
I can't lie, that's an ugly ass tattoo. I've never seen that before, because honestly I don't really deep man's tattoo like that.
And right across
no
the
hate,
road,
but
a family where the youngest daughter, who's 9 years old, has a Rolex on.
Central C was...
That Aventador is just not it.
Also born in Ladbroke Grove, but is a couple years older than Digga. But Central C moved around 5 minutes away from Grove to an area called Shepherd's Bush, another quite notoriously dangerous area in West London, and you will soon learn why this location switch for Central C was important in his feud with the rapper Digga D. Now Digga D and Central C actually went to school with each other. They both attended Chelsea Academy School in West London, but Digga D got kicked out of school in the start of year 8, so the pair didn't really have many run-ins with each other at school. And Central C was quite quiet and low-key in school, so he probably wasn't easily noticed. But from school, both rappers took completely different paths. Central C from around 2015 started trying to launch his music career with a song on the music platform called Street Heat, and he even managed to get onto a remix with Big...
That's the song I've heard, Street Heat. That was one of the original Central C songs that I heard.
With a song on the music platform called Street Heat, and he even managed trying to launch his music career with a song on the music platform called Street Heat, and he even managed to get onto a remix with big East London rapper J Huss in early 2015. Around the same time, he had to support his family, and with his music career not launching yet, he had to get it in another way. He previously had a job at a shoe store, but left less than a month in, and just like many other kids in London, he started the cycle of going to OT to make some fast money. On the other side, in 2015, Digga D started getting his face more beta on the roads. Back in 2015, Shepherd's Bush and Ladbroke...
It's TY, bro. See TY right here, you guys see him? TY, young TY.
He started getting his face more beta on the roads. Back in 2015, Shepherd's Bush and Ladbroke Grove actually used to be part of one gang called 916, alongside some other areas in West London. And you could even see
I didn't know that it was called 916, that's interesting.
Gang called 916, alongside some other areas in West London. And you can even see a young Digga in the 916 music video from the rapper John 5 in his song Ain't Scared. But in 2016, internal disputes inside the 916 gang split the whole group apart, creating several different break-off batches in West London. The 916 members from Ladbroke Grove broke off and continued to use the name 916, but eventually started repping the name 1011, which represented the two postcodes across Ladbroke Grove, which are W10 and W11. And 916 members from Shepherd's Bush divided into two different sets called 12 World and 12 Anti. The same year, Digga D dropped...
So it is linked, 12 World and 12 Anti. I just did a 12 World first impression, and I was asking that, so now what I'm getting is they are linked, they're just two different sets of the same collective, right? Let me know. Confirm that for me, please. Thank you.
His first music video called Hella Bands, where you can see other 1011 members. And that was the start of what we know Digga D to be now. Throughout 2016 and 17, putting on other 1011 members onto his tracks. And 1011 started to blow up faster than anyone in the scene at the time. You may be asking why they blew up so fast. 1011 were really the first UK drill group to have no filter at all. Literally just saying the hottest stuff on beats, describing specific events quite graphically, which is something drill rappers didn't really do to the extent at that time. But one of the main reasons for 1011's blow up was the constant mocking of a murder which took place in 2017. An opposition member called T-Wiz. So it was
That's what it is. I always get the names T-Wiz and T-Rose mixed up. Obviously you guys can probably tell why I get them mixed up, because they do sound very familiar. Yeah, it's just it's a fortunate situation.
April 2017, early in the afternoon, and T-Wiz had just stepped out of his house in Norfolk, West London, which is an op block to the 1011 gang. T-Wiz was then approached by two guys from an opposing gang called Rayners Lane, who are linked with 1011, and once they spotted T-Wiz, they stabbed him in the stomach and ran from the scene. T-Wiz then tried to run to a nearby alleyway around 100 yards from his house, but collapsed and died. Digga D and 1011 would mock T-Wiz's death in pretty much every song. So two men were put on trial for the murder, one being a guy who went by the name T-Rose, but both guys actually ended up beating the murder charge due to claims of self-defense. After beating the case, T-Rose then went on and made a drill song, not only mocking T-Wiz's death, but he went and reenacted the murder in the music video. But stuff started getting hot for T-Rose, so he went and moved around 3 hours away to the north of England in a town called Telford. That didn't stop anyone, because T-Rose was shot 5 times and killed in broad daylight, even after moving to the other side of the country. But
students with ADHD save 10 hours studying with this Chrome extension.
But no.
But let's take it.
You can't run away from the street life. That's just the unfortunate truth of it. The street life is very, very intense, especially when you're that involved. You know, especially when you're that involved and you're mocking stuff like that, and allegedly he's responsible for the death of T-Wiz, whatever it is. Whatever it is, allegedly, obviously everything's alleged, nothing is real. Can't really get away from that kind of stuff, especially when you're knee deep in the mud. It's the best way to get out of street life is to never get in it. So that's it. That's how it works.
Back to 2017, the beef between Digga D's 1011 and Central C's Shepherd's Bush was getting serious. During this, Digga D really started making a name for himself with his tune called No Hook and his Next Up track starting to rack up some big views. And even though all of his songs would be featured by other 1011 members, it was clear Digga was the star of the group, and he even started to attract a lot of international attention to the UK drill scene. But with the constant release of diss tracks, the beef was only becoming hotter, which eventually caught up to Digga and 1011 members. While all of this was going on, Digga's gang, 1011, had been getting investigated and tracked on every movement they made. On the 9th of November 2019, Digga and 4 other members were riding out when their car got stopped near Portobello Road in Ladbroke Grove. Digga tried to make a run for it with his face covered, but he didn't get far and was taken down and arrested by the police, where he was found with a large machete down his trouser leg. One more machete, a knife, and 2 baseball bats were also recovered in the car or on the members. All 5 members were sentenced to conspiracy to commit violence.
Obviously, you guys already know me. I'm telling you, I'm big. Young Digga, Ty. Ty looks different. Obviously, Hunch looks hella young here, to be honest. Hella young. And Savo as well. All 3 of these guys. I feel like, obviously, I haven't really seen M Scum recently. Ty has kind of had the same face. The only thing that's really changed is his hair. I feel like Digga, Hunch, and Savo have looked and changed the most. Obviously, M Scum, we just haven't really seen him much, especially recently. Let me know how he is and where he's at and if he's locked or anything, because I'm not really aware of that. But as far as I'm aware, he's out. He's free. Let me know.
Violent disorder, with the older members receiving prison sentences. But Digga D at the time was only 17, so got a lighter sentence of a year in the detention unit. Originally, the members stated that the weapons were for props for a music video, but after the piled up evidence, they all pleaded guilty to their charges. And this could have very much been the beginning of the end of Digga D.
It was already too late.
They even played his music at court, where they showed he referenced real...
That was the beginning of the end of the whole drill scene. I'm gonna be honest, it was because of these guys. The drill scene kind of is where it is, and all these CBOs and all that. I feel like at the time, if they didn't attract as much attention as they did then, obviously things would have been different now. But at the same time, you can't really live like that. You know, you can't live in a if or what if kind of world. You know, it's just the name of the game. It's just how the boat floats. You know, they didn't do what they did back then. Who knows what the state of the drill scene would have been now, anyways. You know, it might have been dead, anyways. You never know. You never know.
Real life unsolved crimes in his area, which caused the police to get YouTube to take down most of Digga D's songs, including his Next Up, which was one of the most viewed UK drill songs at the time, with 11 million views, even putting Digga D on Channel 4 News to make an example of him to others. Digga was also slapped with a criminal behaviour order, which prevented him from writing lyrics on his rivals and mentioning dead people like T-Wiz. This was quite a turning point for UK drill, because after this we started seeing more and more drill songs getting taken down, which started to cause drill artists to water down and censor their lyrics to stop this from happening. Then on October 8, 2018, Digga was fresh home.
I remember this.
Get me. But it just seemed like he still couldn't keep himself out of trouble. Now this is where Central C now gets involved in this story. Now at this time in 2018, Central C was starting to build a steady name for himself. He was already blowing up on Instagram with his unique type of drip and his pretty boy looks. But his music wasn't quite blowing up yet, with a more wave.
I feel like a lot of how he got famous in the beginning of his career was his pretty boy looks, because I'm gonna be honest, especially back then when I was first getting into UK drill, what I noticed was a lot of females were listening to Central C, and it's all just because of his looks, you know. So it's the name of the game. I mean, my man got blessed. He used his blessings and made it into money. Cold hard cash, baby. Come on.
Wavy type of sound, which was kind of what everyone else was sounding like at the time. But what happened on the 30th of November 2018 might have been a big reason due to his quite drastic career and sound change. So Central C alongside his brother and some other guys were posted up near a Sainsbury's store on Davisville Road in Shepherd.
Maybe this might give me a better insight of what exactly made Central C switch up on his music, because that's what I mean is, like, I've heard a lot of old Central C music and it's not really like what he's rapping about a lot recently, you know. I feel like his newest stuff is also changed once again, so You know, like it's obviously levels to it. He's done whatever, said whatever to get to the level he's at. I'm curious to see where he takes his career, but like I said, the song Khabib by Central C is an absolute banger. I hope he makes more songs with that type of context, because beautiful song, beautiful beat, just beautiful message overall. So big up.
Bush. When they were approached by two males, they started getting into some sort of verbal altercation. One of the males pulled out a knife and stabbed Central C's brother just under his left shoulder and then cut from the scene. Central C and his brother then went inside the Sainsbury's store where the police came and they started to treat the wound. Two men were arrested for this, one of the men being Digga D. Digga D and his friend were eventually released due to lack of evidence, and Central C went kind of MIA for a little while, but Digga just couldn't stay out of trouble.
Letting the ads run for Kid Nerd. Come on, Kid Nerd.
On January the 2nd,
okay, we're back.
He went kind of MIA for a little while, but Digga just couldn't stay out of trouble. On January the 2nd, 2019, at around 7 PM, police was called to Harrow Road in West London due to a large fight between around 20 people. Harrow Road is the...
This is one thing I'll never understand is why man say Digga D is not on it. Like, there's literally video proof of this guy out here busting shots on camera. He's been caught with sheddies on hand in a whip going on a ride. They literally intercepted a ride. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we're watching these guys, listening in to see what they were going to be doing, and they caught them on a glide. Like, how more on it can you be? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how, but man, just love talking shit. That's the name of the game, I guess.
Area of another West London popular rapper called Fredo, and also happens to be another area Digga has conflict with. After this fight, it was reported that two men were stabbed from the altercation. Digga, along with two other 1011 members, Savo and ZK, were arrested alongside some other members of the HRB gang, who was on the other side of the conflict. Digga was arrested and sent back to prison for 2 years and 6 months. Luckily, before Digga went inside, he had already finished up his debut album Double Tap Diaries and recorded some music videos.
Yo, I lived off this album, man. I can't even
some of the tracks. This album is kind of what blew him up to the next level, because before this he didn't have that many solo songs. He released a music video to his hit song No Diet on April the 18th while locked up. The song done big numbers and is currently on 26 million views, setting him up for a lot of hype for when he comes out. Digga ran into some issues though while inside prison. He was stabbed in one of his eyes, making him partially blind. Then on the 22nd of May 2020, Digga D is fresh home once again.
Oh my god, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm emotional, guys. I'm emotional.
And got like Ray and Nephew bottles on this. I feel like I remember all this because I was following Digga D at the time all this was actually happening.
It's beautiful. I'm emotional, guys. I'm emotional.
And comes out with one of his biggest songs yet, a song called Where. This wasn't too far after Central C dropped his first big song as well, called Day in the Life, which put Central in the limelight. And Central C went from strength to strength in 2020, getting numbers in everything and anything he dropped. But he really took off after dropping his hit song Loading, which is now on 80 million views. Even Digga D was seen listening to him in one of his Insta lives. And it seemed like Digga didn't really have that many personal issues with Central C at the time. But Digga did have problems with a lot of the people in Central C's music videos and people around him. Central C has many members of the 12 anti-gang around him, which obviously has conflicts with Digga D's side. Not only this, but Central C featured on a song with the West London rapper Fredo, who is from an area which historically has always had problems with Digga's area. Ever since then, Digga's been moving kinda wild, talking about the situation with his brother back in 2018 in a couple of unreleased songs. But it seemed like Central C wasn't trying to reply to any of Digga D's disses and not give the situation any type of limelight, until recently when he dropped his new mixtape called 2-3. On one of his songs called End of the Beginning, he sends for Digga D's ex-girlfriend called Tennessee, when he says, I wanna hit Tennessee and I don't mean Nashville. Digga responded to this on his...
I heard that. That's one thing I just didn't understand, like, like I don't understand when man's like, it's the same thing with Lowski, believe it or not. Like I used to not be a huge fan of Lowski, but started liking Lowski a lot more. But it's just one of those things when Digga broke up with his ex, Lowski just went on live, where's my, like, dog, address the guy that's been talking shit about you on the internet. Why are you talking about his ex? You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's weak shit. Like, same thing with Central C, like, why you address the guy that's been talking shit about you, that's been saying shit about you? Why are you just gonna talk about his ex? What does that have to do? Oh, because you feel cheeky because you're talking about it. It's weird, bro. I think that's weird. I think it's weird when people bring women into these kind of conversations, bro. Address the guy first. This guy's been talking about you for time. He's been giving verbal about you. And what, you're just going to talk about his ex? A person that's not even in his life anymore? Who gives a shit? You know, it's weird mentality. I don't understand it.
On his Insta, pretty much saying, I want to hit Tennessee and I don't mean Nashville. Digga D's ex-girlfriend called Tennessee when he says, I want to hit Tennessee and I don't mean Nashville. Digga responded to this on his Insta, pretty much saying, why is he sending shots to his ex and not him? But when we look back at Central's life, it makes sense why he hasn't really replied to Digga. Literally just from the fact he's not really involved in all of this beef the two areas have. Obviously, it's literally just from the fact he's not really involved in all of this beef the two areas have. Obviously, it seems like the two have had their own little bit of history, but I think Central C is just at a
shout out Alexis. That was Alexis. Alexis just messaged me. I'll check your message in a bit.
Point of his career where he just wants to go clear and live in peace. Like, this guy could easily clear 10 million views a video at this point and is building a fan base all over the world. He's literally a walking living.
But again, like, I would rather just don't respond at all. Like, I feel like it makes you seem weaker if you just respond to like the guy's ex or like his breakup situation. That's a little weak to me, in my opinion.
Potential Hall of Fame.
I'd rather you just not respond at all and just keep it moving.
All that street stuff. With Digga, it's all a bit different. Digga has kind of thrived off his controversy and bad boy image, and that works for him. That's his audience. When Digga has kind of thrived off his controversy and bad boy image, and that works for him. That's his audience. When we look at Central C's career, he's getting them big views from his songs like Commitment Issues and Obsessed with You, songs for and about girls. So this whole gangsterish type of route he's dabbling with now, in my personal opinion, I think he needs to scrap it, and he could potentially turn into the first international pop star to come from UK drill. Anyway, guys, let me know what you all think about this situation, and of course, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
Come on. Central C versus Digga D, the violent backstory. Honestly, I can't lie, a lot of the stuff that was in that video I kind of already knew. I was expecting to find out a little bit more, but I did find out quite a little bit more about the early CGM days. That was a pretty solid video. Shout out Kid Nerd. Make sure you guys go check out the original video. Go run it up. We're gonna run it up right now as well. Leave a like, link in the description. Central C versus Digga D, the violent backstory. Honestly, I feel like there was quite a lot in there that I learned, especially about the whole brother thing, the T-Wiz, T-Rose situation, and 12 World and all that, and 12 Anti. I feel like that was really good for me to clear up. This is a very good video. Big up Kid Nerd, man. That was a good educational piece for me, to be honest. I needed that one. And yeah, this was also a request. This was also a requested video. It just happened to work out because we just reacted to 12 World as well. So I was like, you know what, why not? Let's get into the backstory just a little bit, and Kid Nerd just helped us do just that. So thank you, Kid Nerd. Big up. Thank you guys for tuning in. 6 Side Reactions. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell to be alerted every single time we go live and every single time we upload. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for always coming back. Thank you guys for running up the support. As always, my name is Shay, 6 Side Reactions, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.